Welcome to Young Money with Tracey Bissett, the advice show for young millionaires in the making. It's time for some $1 Million Straight Talk with Tracey, President and Chief Financial Fitness Trainer at Bissett Financial Fitness. Each week, Tracey's going to tell you what you need to know now at the beginning of your earning curve. Basic and advanced financial concepts made clear, healthy money habits and the missteps to avoid, and all the stuff that you can do to set yourself up for a future of fantastic financial freedom. Ready to lace up and start this week's financial fitness training? Let's do it, Tracey.
Welcome to the Young Money Podcast, the advice show for young millionaires in the making. My name is Tracey Bissett, President and Chief Financial Fitness Trainer of Bissett Financial Fitness, Inc. And you are listening to episode 158, Mind Your Own Business About Money. This episode is part of the Milli Moves series. Young Money Millionaire Moves, or Milli Moves for short, are tips, insight, and advice that help you, young money listeners, continue on your financial fitness journey by taking control of your money and increasing your earnings power. In this series, you will hear from experts who have a proven way of doing things and are sharing their advice with us, fellow young millionaires in the making, and me. Many of these episodes are in direct response to your questions and feedback. If you love this series, I would so appreciate you taking the time to leave a review on Apple Podcasts. The details are in the show notes on how to do it. I would also appreciate you sharing the series with a few friends or family members who would benefit. I know I love hearing podcast suggestions from those who know me. If you've got ideas for future shows, send me a DM on any social platform or feel free to leave me a message on SpeakPipe. The link is in the show notes. There are new shows every week, and I love bringing your suggestions to life. So listen to this episode and take action to put into practice one or more of these Milli Moves today. So before we dive in, I want to share an important milestone with you for the Young Money Podcast. Between episode 157 and today's episode 158, the Young Money Podcast exceeded over 100,000 downloads. Woohoo! I am thrilled not only because of the number, but because I know so many more people are listening without downloading, and most importantly, because you love this show. Thank you so much for your continued support. So let's get started with today's episode, Milli Moves, Mind Your Own Business About Money. And today's episode is all about minding your own business about money. That means your money and their money, or the lack thereof. And as of late, I've been hearing and seeing some things that have given me pause. I've been mulling these things over, and so as it usually does, it has prompted this podcast episode. I'm going to share the situations I typically come across, and you can see which, if any, or all apply to you. You already know the verdict from the show title, Mind Your Business About Money. So comparing yourself to others, the long and short of it is, don't believe everything you see, read, or hear. I'm not sure if it's the time of year or because it was bugging me, I noticed it more than ever. I have been seeing lots of pictures and stories on social media that sound amazing. And if you take them all at face value, you may wonder, why can't I have that? Or why doesn't my life, my business, my family look like that? One of our very first episodes, number 12, highlighted the financial cost of comparisonitis with Rachel Brownlow Lund. And we have had so many great guests on the show talking about this, including Kelly Keene, Shannon Lee Simmons, and Melissa Leong, to name a few. This comparisonitis, this comparing ourselves to our friends, you may know it as keeping up with the Joneses. And my friend Jennifer and I always talk about this. And she regularly asks me, how can they afford this, or how are they doing it? And I can tell you, in the cases I have witnessed lately, I know without a doubt that the information presented is just one part of the story and only focuses on the positive. The whole story is not being told, as it would not be social media worthy, would highlight issues, and certainly would completely change your perspective of the person and the company. So what should we do about it? Stop concerning ourselves with other people and their money. If you don't know them well, and by well I mean know their financial situation, you don't know what is really going on. Mind your own business about money and focus on your situation, your goals, and your happiness. It only decreases your happiness to think about what you think someone else has or is doing, and what they are showing you is really only an extract or a highlight reel of their life. So number one, comparing yourself to others. Don't believe everything you see, hear, or read. Now, number two, can they afford me? This one came up quite a bit after episode 155, Business Pricing 101, How to Price Your Product or Service aired. I hear this all the time when working with business owners, and I know the same may also be a thought for young money employees negotiating salaries in new or existing jobs. Stop making it about you and inserting yourself into the other party's money situation. If you are a business owner and have validated your pricing, stand firm in articulating your value and let your prospect decide if they want to do business with you. The same goes in a salary negotiation. Stand firm in articulating your value and let them decide how much it is worth to them. They will tell you in their response, yes, I believe in the value and can pay it or can't right now, or no, I don't believe that level of value is there. It is none of your concern what their financial situation is. Mind your own business about money. So number two, can they afford me? So articulate that value and stand firm in it. Finally, number three, do you want to look wealthy or be wealthy? And so while this definitely ties into the first one about comparing yourself to others, it is really about you. Take a moment to think about this. When I ask you to imagine a billionaire or multimillionaire, what comes to mind? Is it someone who jet sets around the world, wears all expensive designer clothes, and has the latest tech, toys, and tools? We've talked about before Rihanna being a millionaire and Jay-Z being a billionaire. Is that what comes to mind? What about Warren Buffett? At the time of recording, he has just celebrated his 90th birthday, and it got me to thinking about some of the things I have read about him. In July 2020, his net worth was reported at $78.9 billion. His breakfast depends on the stock market. Before he heads to McDonald's, Business Insider reported that every morning, his wife Astrid places either $2.61, $2.95, or $3.17 in his car's cup holder. At McDonald's, $2.61 buys him 2 sausage patties, $2.95 snags him a sausage McMuffin with egg and cheese, and a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit costs him $3.17. He drinks Coca-Cola all day and has described his diet as that of a 6-year-old. He still works, spends a lot of his day reading, approximately 500 pages a day, and lives in the first home he purchased in 1958 for $31,500. His philosophy is well explained by this quote from an interview with CNBC. Success is really doing what you love and doing it well. It's as simple as that. Really getting to do what you love to do every day, that's really the ultimate luxury. Your standard of living is not equal to your cost of living. So let me ask you again, do you want to look wealthy or be wealthy? It's a question only you can answer, and it comes back to the theme of the show. Mind your own business about money. In this case, it's about your money. Are you more concerned with your definition of success or about impressing others, implying some sort of lifestyle? And so that's number 3. So to recap, these are some of the common things I see people thinking, stressing, or worrying about. So number 1, comparing yourself to others. Don't believe everything you see or hear. Number 2, can they afford me? Validate the value and stand firm and articulate it. And number 3, look inward. Do you want to look or be wealthy? As we have talked about on the show before, everyone has different financial goals and priorities. It's important to focus on yours and live your life accordingly. Don't get distracted or get caught up in other people's business about money. This is in your control, so mind your own business about money. Now, a couple of things before we go today. In case you missed it, Young Money with Tracey Bissett has had the pleasure of sponsoring Eleanor Beaton's Power Presence Position podcast, episodes 415 through 418. I've been working with Eleanor for the last few years, and it has been one of the keys to my ability to implement things at the rate I do in my business. And I am so pleased to work with Eleanor. I also want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who shared news of the Young Money Scholarship with friends, family, their networks, and had some fun doing it on social. A big thank you goes out to all the post-secondary students who were brave and took the time to apply. My heart is so full as we work through reviewing the applications, and so that funds can be awarded in the coming weeks. Stay tuned and we will share the announcements of the winners here. If you missed your opportunity to apply, not to worry. This is just the first round of the Young Money Scholarship, and we will be back. Thank you for joining me for episode 158, Milli Moves, Mind Your Own Business About Money, and to celebrate 100,000 downloads of the podcast. I wish you continued success on your financial fitness journey. Be sure to implement one or more of these Milli moves you heard today. And until next time, take good care and stay financially fit.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. To all you millionaires in the making out there, if you love this podcast, please subscribe on iTunes to keep your financial fitness training going. Oh, and leave us a review. And be sure to visit Bissett, 2 S's, 2 T's, financialfitness.com to take your free financial fitness assessment. Find out how financially fit you really are. See you next week, young millionaires to be.